I joke about this sometimes when I speak. Whether it be with corporations or doing some of the spiritual DNA live training, I talk about the idea of like, what if you were doing a bad impersonation of yourself in life? And I like to have fun with this. I used to do impersonations a little bit more when I was in high school. I could do a pretty good Chris Farley impersonation of him doing Matt Foley. I could do Bill Clinton for a while there. Like there was a season of life where I was in impersonations, but they wouldn't work if you were doing them every day in every element of your life. In fact, it would be super awkward and really off-putting. And so I always joke around. It's like I do a bad Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonation. This is it right here, like this, right? Get down, right? Get in the chopper. Right? It's not good. You're not going to see me doing any kind of like touring on comedy circuits doing impersonations of Arnold Schwarzenegger. But I always make this point. Imagine if that was how I actually thought I talked. Right? Like I have a few gifts and abilities. I can play the drums pretty well. I'm okay here at speaking, math. We've talked about that, I think, before. Not my jam. Science, really spelling the English language, not a strength. But it is one of the best things I do. One of the things God's created me to do is speak, to communicate. And what if I was trying to do my life, my calling, using the Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonation? I can guarantee you would not be listening to this podcast after 1 minute of like 6 years ago. You'd been like, no, I've heard some things about this Daron Earlewine guy, but this is not my jam. Because I'd be like, created on purpose, for purpose. You'd feel like, bro, come on. What are you doing? Right? My marriage wouldn't work. I can't go on dates, talk to my wife like that. I couldn't parent. Give me a break. You serious? Like be telling my kids, do your homework. They'd be like, Dad, we know it's a fake voice. My life wouldn't work, and neither would yours. I don't care if you're doing Arnold Schwarzenegger or whatever impersonation you do poorly. If you weren't using your actual voice to live your life wouldn't function. And what I want to dig into today is there are what I believe 5 unique callings or voices within God's kingdom. And he has created you on purpose to speak one of those, to lead in a way. That's who you are in God's kingdom. And if you don't know that voice, you might be doing a bad impersonation of yourself. And that may be where you've been, is that you just don't know who God's created you to be. Ephesians chapter 4 says that God's gifts he's given to the church are the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists, the shepherds, and the teachers. I believe that your core identity in God's kingdom is one of those 5 callings. Another word we can place with those, right, is pioneer for apostle, creative for a prophet, connector for the evangelist, nurturer instead of shepherd, and guardian instead of teacher. As I'm saying those words, if one of them is jumping off, off the podcast to you, you might need to begin to get a little more curious, and going back to that lack of information, begin to grow your knowledge base on who God may have created you to be. Once again, the Spiritual DNA online course is a great resource for that. You can get it at spiritualdna.me. and begin this process of understanding your identity and then gaining more information to know how you step into that.